Hi, I would like to introduce Dr. Elaine Dembe, also known as the Passion Doctor, a celebrated chiropractor having worked in the private practice in Toronto for over 30 years, a sought-after keynote speaker, media personality, and author of 2 best-selling books, Passionate Longevity, The 10 Secrets to Growing Younger, and Use the Good Dishes, Finding Joy in Everyday Life. A former Canadian-ranked marathon runner, she is now an enthusiastic adventure climber, having just reached the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro to celebrate her 60th birthday. Dr. Dembe is also a life coach, helping individuals find strategies to reach optimal health and wellness. With her prescription for a personal and work life filled with passion, purpose, and joy, this cheerleader for life will inspire you to be your best. In today's presentation, you will learn what successful aging means, and she will share key stress strategies to help you adapt to life's many changes.
There is a story about a woman who was fishing all day, and she hadn't caught a darn thing. She glanced over to a man in a nearby boat who was reeling the fish in like crazy. And as she watched him, she noticed he was keeping all the small fish and throwing the big fish back. She couldn't figure it out. So after a while, she yelled over, "How come you're throwing the big fish back?" He answered her by reaching down and holding up a small frying pan. Isn't life a lot like that? How we walk around with our lives being small, with limiting beliefs, perceptions, and assumptions about how life is and can be. Well, the aging process is very much like that frying pan for some people. How often do I hear, "Oh, I'm too old to do this," or "How can I do this at my age?" That's what I hear in my practice. The biggest mistake that I think people make is letting their age, a number, the number of candles on their cake, dictate their choices instead of looking at what would fulfill them and then just doing it anyway. Right. Well, you've had your mind stimulated. Now it's time for the body. I'd like everyone to stand up. And this is perfect. Drop your notes. This is a perfect routine that you can do in your office, stretching in a confined space.
It's my pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Elaine Dembe.
Why are there some people old at 60, some young at 80? Not just in body, but in spirit. Instead of looking for answers in scientific journals, I decided to go to those 70, 80, 90, 100-year-olds and ask them their secrets to living a long, passionate life. There should be a daily limit on self-pity. A daily limit on self-pity. And then she went like this and she said, "While I have brain and muscle and even the smallest possibility of activity, never feel sorry for yourself and never, never, never give up." What did I learn from Eleanor? Resilience. Resilience. We've all experienced the slings and arrows of life. But I believe that we have choices as to how we interpret those setbacks, those disappointments, those losses. And whether it's professionally or personally, I believe these principles apply. You've got to be awake. You have got to take a clear-eyed look at your health, your habits, the habits that enhance your life, that diminish your life, your lifestyle, the stresses. Be willing to make changes where you can, because sometimes you can't, and then embrace who you are and embrace the world around you. We are going to stretch these muscles, the trapezius. These are also nicknamed the worry muscles. All our tension is stored in here. Doing shoulder shrugs, great big circles back. Just get all that tension out. You know, the expression, I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, that's where it goes. And now the other direction. Just get all that tension out. Here's the best advice from Deborah Zeke, who started the Rancho La Puerta Spa in Baja, Mexico. She's 90. This is what she said. She said, every decade I look at my friends and decide who I'm going to take with me into the next decade. And I said, you do this? She said, yes. Based on this question, are they life-enhancing or life-diminishing? And she said, you know which ones they are. And here's her example, and you'll love this. You look, the phone rings, and you have call display. There's a moment of hesitation, or you just let the phone, leave a message, or you call them when voicemail is on. Now, at first when I heard this from her, I thought, wasn't this a bit callous? You don't want to abandon people. She said, no, you don't, but you want to be very conscious of the people that you bring close into your life. And if you don't see them in a year, they're still whining and complaining about the same thing a year ago. I don't know what you do about family. That's a whole other story. So we won't even go there. So life goes so fast. We have to start pruning and editing things that don't fit, people that don't fit, situations that don't fit. In your office, on the floor, close the door. Look what you can do. You can do the plank in a suit. You can talk on the telephone. Hi, how are you? Yes, yeah, I'm really busy. And think of the core work you're doing. You could, you could do emails with one hand, check your BlackBerry, bring your leg up. There's no excuse. You can do everything in your office. So enjoy, and I hope you feel better. Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine.
Thanks.